married lives as we look into God's word to enable us incline God's word and apply God's word to everything that we do. Heavenly Father, we thank you for another time like this. We pray, oh God, as we progress in our discussion, aligning it into your word, pray that your word will bless our hearts. And we'll see peace, we'll see your love, we'll see your grace appear and manifest in our homes in the name of Jesus. And for our singles, oh God, they will take these principles and run with it to the glory and honor of your holy name. In Jesus' mighty name. Today, by God's grace, we'll continue. I'll go straight into our first question for today. Questions are kind of aligned in a way, so we may not really have to, because some of them have been touched in the previous week, especially around navigating how we relate with in-laws and externals within relationship. But the first question is, how do you handle cultural and traditional family expectations that conflict Christian values? I think this is straightforward, but again, we don't want to, there's a purpose by which someone has this question. So don't let me say it's straightforward, because they have asked because they want us to learn from it. So I'll do it the other way around this time. I'll just leave it open to the floor. What do you think? How do you handle cultural and traditional family expectations that conflict with Christian values? So it just says family expectation that conflicts with Christian values. How do you handle those?
What type of family expectation?
So
I think, for example, maybe in a family, maybe if your first child has to maybe have a mark or something. I'm just using examples. I don't know out of my head, or maybe they have to present the first child to maybe a shrine or something. That's to the extreme. There are some that maybe they are just basic, though. So how do we handle?
So, for example, thank you, allow me for that, but let me break it down. Some families, when it comes to culture, if, say, for example, especially if someone is getting married and that person is the first child, especially the woman, they must take at least one or two of their siblings to live with them. So I know that, and I know that from our tenant back in Lagos then. Young couple, when they got married, but according to their own culture, a part of Nigeria, they must, it's part of the baggage. You have to take a younger sibling of your spouse, your wife, to live with you. You train that person. It's like that person graduating. And I know a lot of, in fact, my own best man, was something like that as well, that stayed with. So these are some of the expectations. In some families, it will be like, say, for example, even if you're a Christian, they will still tell you, as part of their tradition, this family comes from the masquerade family in the village. And so whether you want to be involved directly, like you being part of that rite, traditional rite, is one thing. But if you don't even want to be part of it, they still demand that you contribute. Maybe it's a yearly festival that they do. So I'm just giving us an example. Of course, this question did not elaborate, but it's saying, how do you handle cultural and traditional family expectations You know, so some of this expectation might be coming from our own parents as well, that are saying, "Ah, that is how they do it."
Or say for a person that loses their husband, that they have to betroth them to the younger brother,
Yes.
and you're a Christian and you don't want to.
Yes, that's another one that, you know, an older brother dies, and then the wife of that older brother will be betrothed automatically to the next person in line. And for some people, as part of there's one that the church had to stand by this woman. One, you will shave your head like last king as a woman. And then there are certain number of days that you will sit with the cup before. Yeah, yes, before. This is not a movie, mommy, it's real. You know, because I remember there was a year in Nigeria that the church had to stand with it. Oh, yeah. But they still made her sit. They shaved her hair and they still made her sit with the cup for some nights before that body was buried. So how do we?
Sorry, I think, I don't know though, because like in the Igbo culture, for instance,
Yes.
when a person wants to get married, say if, for example, a man comes that he wants to marry me, the onus is on my family to go and research the man's family, you know, and, you know, whatever, know about their family and their tradition, the kind of things that they do. You know, before I used to like think, what's that for? You and the man are here. You don't need all of that. But then, like what the story that Sister Lami just said, there's a woman recently who lost her husband. They were believers, you know, and they've lived in the city all their lives and all of that. Now the man has passed. The family decided, they insisted she must bring the corpse home. Even there were instances where the person had already buried the man in the city. The family came to that home,
Assumed.
you know, and exhumed the body, that she must come and bury the man back home, because she was trying to avoid all of that. So they insisted, our brother is not a nobody. You can't just bury him. You have to come. So, you know, like unlike this lady, because of that, she decided that, okay, she doesn't want trouble. You know, they are believers. And she took the man home and she was held there for days. They locked her up in the room and with the dead body and all of that. I think when she started crying out, somebody from the village had to alert the public. So I've forgotten this organization in Nigeria for women rights and things. They came there, you know, and she was talking about how they beat her and everything. So they brought the police and they involved the police. You understand? So with this one, I don't know how this works, because sometimes a couple, husband and wife, we are born again, we don't do all this traditional thing. And to an extent, you have control when it comes to like your marriage, like your wedding. You can decide, I don't want to do traditional marriage. I don't want to partake in any of all of that. But when the person dies, for example, the family comes, you know, I don't know how that works anyway in the UK or abroad, but when you're back home, and I don't know if you can call back home and say, oh, your brother died or your sister died, I've buried. I don't know how that, you understand? So I don't know how that will work.
I think in terms of burial, I think it depends on if I think, right, and what I've been told depends on if if the person is the chief and the type of chieftaincy title, because if chieftaincy title have got different degrees, right, different class. So if you say you're a Christian, you now go and take let's say chieftaincy type of Balogun, an example, which is next to the Oba. You understand? There's no way, right? They will tell you that the guy, the person, he's not a Christian, right? And he still bears that, he still has that chieftaincy title with him. If he dies, they'll still always take him back to the village. They will not allow him, right, to be buried in the city, because there are so many rites, right, that will need to be said before he's now even put to the ground. So it depends on if the person is a chief, and what type of chief the person is. If the person is not a chief, like me now, I'm not a chief, right? There's no one that will say, if I pass tomorrow and say, oh, they want to take my body to the village, because I've got nothing tying me down there.
My dad, for example, I remember when my dad was still alive. For example, when my cousin was going to get married, there's certain things they wanted to do. My dad was like, no, let's not do that. You know, he changed a lot of things. And even before my dad passed, there's certain things that my dad would laid up straight. So I remember when he was going to be buried, my brother was telling me this, that there were certain things they were telling them, no, if you don't do, you're not going to bury. And he said to them, I'll take him to Lagos and bury him, you know. So I guess maybe now, as if for born again believers who are husbands and wife or whatever, maybe if you know you have such background or such culture, perhaps start setting things straight with your people and tell them, oh, you know, I remember my friend before her mom passed, the woman has always said, please, anywhere I die, bury me there. Don't carry my body around. And I remember she came here on holiday, she died here, and they buried her here. You know, so whatever it was, the woman always insisted, don't carry my body up and down and all of that. Even now, with my mom, I always ask my mom, I said, you now, if, for example, your time comes and you die, she said, you bury me, you take, our tradition is you take me back to my father's place. So I said to her, when last did you go to your father's place? You're scared, you're running. Then you want us, your children. She said, you know, she was laughing. She said, it's true. I said, you are scared of them there. So you want us to go. She said, it's true, Sha. Anyway, I don't think, no, that one will not work because she has not gone for so many years, over 20 years. She's scared of them there, you know, Edo and everything. But you want us to go. So I said to her, look at it, think about it now. How would that work? We haven't been for how many years? Then you that you even belong there, you are scared to go, you know. Now she's beginning to, okay, it's true, Sha, it's true. You know, I'm sure when she talks to her brothers and everything. So if you start doing that, setting things straight, let your family people know, I don't want that nobody should stress my wife or my husband, you know, when anything happens. Maybe that would help, you know, because sometimes, so you'll be shocked that even the believers who are family members are the ones even doing more. They'll tell you it's not about Bible, this is our culture, you know, so it makes it even, I don't know.
It does. So let's bring it down. If this pressure is coming from parents, if we narrow it down to relationship and family now, because it's saying, how do we undo cultural and traditional family expectations that conflict with our Christian values? If this is coming from your sibling or your parents, you are now married, and they are saying, this is our culture, this is our tradition, you have to partake in doing this, and it does not align with your Christian values, how do you handle that?
Traditional family expectation. I just think most times people do things without asking why. It's been done, we're just doing it, no one has actually sat down to say, okay, why are we still doing it? And I always think it takes one person to ask questions before everybody's like, oh, okay, it's true, we've not, you guys. So I think with Christianity, some Christians still, like my sister said, they still join the whole traditional things like that. But I think if one person is bold enough, if one person is, excuse my English, crazy enough to question them and poke holes in this so-called tradition, it might lead to the floor being open, because most times you just follow blindly. They've been doing this for years. They did it. Let's just keep doing it. So, and they don't really deep I'm a Christian, I'm not supposed to participate in this kind of thing. So I think that's how you can handle it or try to handle it.
Thank you. Sister Elizabeth.
Okay, from my own point of view, I think it depends on the tradition and yourself. Because if I call myself a Christian, I should be able to defend my Christianity wherever I am, no matter what it is. I remember when my mom passed away, we will come back, they still have to perfect this tradition. I told myself, no, we're not going to do that, no matter what they say. And we stand by it, and we did not do it. My mother was still buried in a proper Christian way. So the only advice for us as a Christian, stand firm in your faith. No matter where you are, no matter where you go, you stand, I'm a Christian, I'm not going to do it, period.
It's true.
One of the problems is that a lot of us are just Christians in name, not in action. It's not there. We just, like she's saying, we just follow. We don't ask questions. And like Obi was saying also, it's the fact that if you know you're a Christian and you come from a family that are so much into this, you tell them, get them, if I die, this is where I want to be buried. So don't get involved. I have a coworker who want to go and become a chief. He's a Christian. I say, what do you have to do with that? Why are you going to be a chief? What do you need it for? Ask him, what do you need it for? So like this thing we talk about in Bible study, no humility, pride. But then they throw all this culture and all those things to you, and how would that affect you? So what do you want to go and what do you want to do with it? What do you need? What do you need it for? And because when you look at it, it's not a Christian in name. That's all. They don't understand what they're doing. So I think we need to, like Sister is saying, we need to stand firm. So that is the only way we can handle it. This is, I remember when my dad died, all these people that don't, know how my family was running, they want to come now and take charge because my father is their family. They were trying to stipulate things and all those things. So I told my senior brother, I said, well, tell them I don't want all these meetings and all those things they are going for. My dad cannot be in mortuary for that long. If they don't want to agree what I want to say, I will come down. I don't need their help. I take my dad I bury my dad and I leave. I say, so the next meeting you have must be the last meeting. It's just nothing being done. We just want to bury my dad and that's it. Get the pastor to come in and do all those things. So if they still want to drag on, they'll drag on and drag on. I say, that one is not part of me. I just want to take my dad and bury my dad. It's a body. It's finished. If my dad is gone, this is just his body. What are we deliberating about? So he went there and told them, he said, okay, tell him when is he ready? I said, I'm ready now. Let's just do the thing now. And if you don't stand like that, they will take over the whole thing. So we need to, as Abba said, stand firm. The only way we can handle it is stand firm on anything that does not conflict our Christian values. If it conflicts, we say no, and that's it. Nobody can do anything about it.
So my question is, these are the extreme ones that we've answered now. So the example that you gave of someone that you take on your siblings with you, that one is not really extreme. But you as a young couple, you think we don't want someone to live with us, maybe at the early stage or something. So how do you handle it? And, they may even say, and you call yourself Christians, and these are their bad cultures. These are the things that they do in that family. So how do you handle that as Christians?
Not all traditions are sinful. You must understand.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, not all traditions are sinful. So that's a culture they have because they think somebody has to nurture somebody. I think that's not a bad one. If we get married, we take our two siblings and carry with us to go and train them, So, but if you keep saying, we're just new couple, it's a bit of selfishness, I think. If you think, there's something in school that says you can't train that person. It's not a culture that has to do with anything sinful. So I think we can accommodate that. We can accommodate that and help because not all traditions, of course, a lot are sinful, but not all are like that. This is not against my Christian value to take. I get married to my wife. I say, look, in our place, we don't have to bring two people,
So,
Well,
Pastor,
but
not in all cases.
Yeah.
See, this issue has destroyed
what I'm
so
saying,
many.
what I'm trying to say is that it's not against Christian values. It even promotes. But if the couple can't afford it, if they can't take it, they'll say, look, we can't take it. We can't, because rather than forcing it on us because it's a tradition, we can't. You have to be honest, which is the truth again. Christianity is honesty. So you can say, look, we can't afford it. We can't do that. Although we don't say because of our Christian value. It's just that I'm being open to you guys. I can't. Because now truth now begins to come in as a Christian. You're being honest. You're being truthful. Because before, whether you like it or not, you have to take. But now, your Christianity makes your eyes open. You can say, look, I want to be truthful about this. We don't want this person to come and suffer here. Please, we cannot afford it.
Pastor, sometimes it's not even because you cannot afford it. It's just because your spirit does not want that person in that environment. It's not. Sometimes it's not even about money. It has destroyed. You find that so many things happen. But let's even leave that. What if before you get married, they're already laying all those things before you and saying, before you marry our daughter, you have to So what do you do?
Well, you see, the idea is that they cannot force. As a Christian, you have the freedom. Where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty. So before, yes, they can, but now you are a Christian, your eyes are open, you know what freedom is. You can just tell them, look, number one, I can afford it. Number two, I don't think this is good for me. You just make it. If that's the case, you can have your daughter. Because, of course, if the Lord leads you to marry that person, I pray everything will fall in place.
Sorry, I just wanted to add that sometimes as well, it's not because maybe they can't afford it. Some people just want to have time they're just getting married, get time to figure out themselves, because I remember like when my sister got married, my dad was like, the first 5 years, nobody is going to live with them, was telling, the ones that are back home and all of that. And I think 3 years later, Nkiru was the only one at home, everybody had gone. And my dad used to stress her a lot because, the man she's the only one there, police her. She packed her things and she ran down to Lekki there to stay. My dad was not having it. He was, but then my sister was like, no, leave her. I'm bored anyway. I just had a baby. I need someone to, But I think most of the time people want that because sometimes family members, when they come in, they begin to poke, like here, obviously, because the culture here is everybody mind your business. But back in Africa, they don't know boundaries, no respect. You see the way the man is, and the woman are living. You call your mom. Let's say your sister is the one married to the man. You call your mom. Mommy, this man is treating our sister, your daughter like a slave. Or you call your mom if he's your brother. Your brother is a mumu. So sometimes couple don't want, siblings, seeing that or getting involved. So the first few years, they want to use it to know themselves and get the marriage solid before any external influence is coming. Because most times when they do that, even when an external person, like a sibling, they will do, not that they won't take the person eventually, but when they do take that person in, you see that they are more solid. The man knows what the woman wants. The woman knows what the man wants. They know these are boundaries you can't cross and all of that. So when issues start coming up or your sibling is trying to like interfere or ask questions or you say, mind your business. This is what you understand. But when they don't, you just newly married and everybody's in, your husband goes out, before he comes back, your sister is asking, why is your husband not back by this time? Are you sure? They start putting, those interference. Sometimes couple don't like it. I think that's why,
I think that yeah.
Wait, do you want Pastor to finish?
Oh, so that Pastor can. Sorry.
Okay, I just think, Obi, see, just look at it. You are a Christian and you marry a fellow Christian, I don't think, we need to try knowing ourselves so nobody can come and stay with us, that kind of a thing. But if you really don't want to do it, not because you want to get to know yourself, I don't think anybody will come and then begin to tell my wife, why is your husband not back at home? What she do? Before I marry my wife, you just got to know that both of you are Christians. So, sorry? And this is the truth. The very day we got married and moved to our new house, somebody was there with us. This is not even kids like we say now, adults. So that kind of a thing, it didn't bother us at all. We're okay as long as all we're trying to do is to help people. So if you see it from the way that I want to help these people, you look at it that way, then you don't worry about what they're going to bring in. You can see how you, as a Christian, can change them. These are the things, we have that Christian value to impact into these people. So I don't begin to think, I don't want to come and disturb me or influence my wife. No, it's about how myself, I'm going to influence them. Why me can't be thinking how I'm going to influence them rather than them thinking how they can influence me and spoil my marriage? No way, I'm going to think of how I can influence them better for the community. So that's why I'm a Christian. So we need to kind of renew our minds into so many, many things. So for me, that would be a good way. I want to bring them in so I can, and to be candid, it has helped us to help people. You can talk to them, they see your Christian value, they know what you stand for. So when I bring them like that, not them come and be telling my wife, no, we see how we can inculcate and bring Christian value into their lives, and then they can go also and begin to touch other people. So that is the thing, not about them coming to, no way, you are a Christian already, you have your values, you stand firm on it, you want to see how you can bring them to that value, not them coming to ruin. It's not possible. They're not going to do that. The devil cannot, because you need to stand firm. Don't forget, we are Christians. We have the power. Oh, come on, well, if they start telling this is not the house for that, you can't do that here. Simple and clear. You can't do that here. Yeah, that's it, simple and clear. You can't come here and be telling my wife this. Don't try that in this place. We need to change them. Let them change. So we need to change them rather than them coming to change us. We Christians need to stand firm and know who we are. Authority has been given to us, and we must use authority as God has given it to us.
Thank you, Pastor.
Praise the
Sister
Lord.
Gladys.
Yeah, I think Pastor has actually answered the question, but I will still say what the question is. I was going to say, what if, one of the party, the new couple, was a product of, this example of going to live with someone. Do you understand? And then now a product, as in
They
he too
benefited.
had lived with someone and they brought him up well. Do you understand? But Pastor has answered it in that, you've already inculcated a lot of values and all of that. So you know how to handle the situation when it's your turn. Because when it's your turn and it's someone that needs to come to stay with you, is it at that point you say, no, I want to get, me and my wife want to be,
All right.
But Pastor has answered.
Yeah,
it
but it
really.
depends on the person. If
Yeah.
the person doesn't want it.
Okay.
No, meanwhile, you were a product of it, and now you're saying you don't want it.
It doesn't. I'm a product of Nigeria. It doesn't say I want to go back to Nigeria. It's the same thing.
That thing is itself.
It's. I agree that it's not a bad
Okay.
thing, but it depends on the person.
Let's have Sister Nkira, and then we'll go to our second question.
I'm
for
sorry, I
today.
was just when Sister Anselami said no extreme cases, it just came to my mind when it comes to the whole, like, if the husband died, the wife goes to, even it comes to properties too. They have living children, you're a Christian, you're going, like, sometimes when I see certain Christians do certain things, I just believe that most Christians are religious, but they're not necessarily good people. Because this person has grown children. You're coming to, like, oh, is my brother, you're taking. So what should happen to the children? You're chasing the wives away.
It's true.
But you still tie scarf and enter church. No, it's true. You come to church. So I'm like, is the Bible not changing you, or you're just reading? So things like that. So again, this is expectation and the conflict with Christian values. How do you now move from there? When okay, two of you are going to the same church, but you've taken everything. You're telling the woman to go and the children, that's not your problem. So, like, how do you now handle those kind of situations? Some even Christians, they'll still go as far as going to, like, get dark powers and stuff like that. So how do you? No, I'm just saying. So, like, that kind of, okay, let's not go to that extreme, but, like, how do you now handle that kind of thing?
She said have a will.
Make a will before.
Yeah.
Because obviously a lot of people were scared of making a will. It's almost like, oh, you're saying that your time is ahead. But the truth is that you need to have a will.
And you're right. That has saved, and I think it comes with wisdom. That has actually saved a lot of family, especially where we have this. And you're right, where people don't care. The disease has got children, and then you're coming to say, this is our blood, that stuff you want to take, and then send the woman away. How is she going to cope with the children? But what has helped recently is people's enlightenment and having their will before anything happens. Of course, we know in a corrupt state where people even bribe lawyers and wills are being changed, because we've seen all sorts, and in some instances, the woman and the children have actually walked away and just leave them, because for some people, for them it's, what, I want my peace. If you want to fight for the house and everything, I'll leave you to go. And they'll just live with their children, So it's a very difficult one really to navigate, because sometimes you see that is the entire family against this woman and the children. So difficult. Like, what is going on? And the sad thing also is that some of these people are Christians. And nobody can even think that this is our own brother, or this is our own cousin that is now late but's got children. Why can't we just leave all this for the woman? If you see those children prosper and grow, wouldn't that be your own joy? But the first thing is, how can they sell those properties? How can they sell those companies? So it's really sad. But like I said, where it has worked, the will has really helped. Where they've come to read it, this is what the disease is saying, and how they want their estate and money and properties to be shared. So if anybody has that kind of, what's it called, family setup, the best thing is put your will in place and let people know what. A friend of mine at work recently, I think early this year, they are from Zimbabwe, had to take the eldest son home because they have massive farmland. And he told me they passed this farmland to them for about 3 or 4 generations now. He just thought, you know what? Because all his children are here. And he's saying, what can I do? And guess what? He is the only child. He's the only child. He's over 60 himself. And he's saying, I don't know what might happen. So he took the eldest son home. And this is the only person that, is thinking, because others cannot be bothered. Others cannot be bothered. So he took him home, showed him the place, everything. This is the farmland. They passed it on. They are not selling. A lot of people have come to they want to buy. No. The idea is that pass it on. Whatever you can make use of that farmland, just pass it on from one generation to the other. So there are ways of doing these things, especially for children who are interested, or you put your will in place. Let's move on to.
No, that the husband was killed.
Yes.
They have 2 children. And the man has bought a land before he was killed and paid for that land. And the mother attends the church also. But as soon as the son was killed, they're trying to take the land off and kick this woman away. And she's a Christian.
See?
So we have to stand in place to start supporting this woman and say, no, what about children? This is our land, that's the husband. So what has that got to do? And meanwhile, the mother comes to the church. I kind of thing. I've been hearing this kind of stories, but I never knew this really can happen. Now I felt so sorry for this young lady.
Yeah,
and
I
we
know.
are now supporting her. We're now trying to support her business and all those things to make sure that she doesn't allow that to.
So did this woman eventually take that land?
At the moment now, the family, even the brother of that one that died is a pastor. Can you imagine that? So it's not just.
So all of them want to take it from.
They want it, yeah. It's like it's our brother, it's our brother's son. So, but this woman is part of this. This is her husband that died. This, So we're trying to educate them now to make sure. So at the moment, the thing is still in stalemate. But we'll see. I'm just thinking if they don't want, then I will try and see how we can get another land for that one.
Yeah. Let them just take it. Honestly. So it's sad. That's that spirit of covetousness. All right. Go on, Bob Victor.
Pastor, in that particular scenario, and the brother being a pastor, how can he say he's a pastor and still cater for his flocks?
Since this happened, we have not had another pastors' meeting, since this.
Yeah.
We have one, but it was after that meeting that all this came alive.
Okay.
So, like you said, I'm waiting for the next pastors' meeting because we've had a lot of things going on. That's why we couldn't have another meeting. When that happens, then we'll call him aside. I want to ask him serious questions and let him tell me why that land should be taken away from this young lady that the husband died. This is a woman mourning for her husband, and you want to take. So I want that pastor to tell me, and he's a pastor in the ministry. I want to tell me why you want to take that. So I'm waiting for that time. So let him give me his explanation.
So these are the practical steps that church too can take to show that we don't support that kind of a thing.
Yes.
It's a generational thing, especially in Africa. Yes,
Yeah.
where we think this entitlement
that's right.
thing. And using that example you gave as well, it stems from there too, where a parent believes that my older child should be responsible for my young. You gave birth to that child. A parent should be responsible for all their children. If I, as the firstborn or secondborn or some, want to help, it's fine, but you don't make it my responsibility. This is now what is happening in this case that you're talking about. They've seen their brother, they've seen themselves as their brother's responsibility. So if my brother, whether he's married or not, has a land, I need to have part, I need to have
A share.
a share because I'm my brother's responsibility. When you grow up, you have your own family, deal with your family. My brother has his own family, he should deal with. If he wants to help, fine. If he doesn't, fine. So that is the problem we are having in Africa. That's why I think the way we think changes when we come to this country. It's not that they don't care about themselves, but everybody sees it as, oh, I'm responsible for myself. If my brother gives me something, I should say thank you, not that he needs to give me. Do you understand? So I think that is where the problem is coming from.
Also, I think on the flip side, though, there are some families who genuinely, they have concerns, not because they want to take the man's property, but because they feel that that woman, as a wife, perhaps, maybe, yes, history of misuse.
No, Obi, the thing is that what
I'm
the woman want to do with the house shouldn't be the
Pastor, wait, I'm coming. I understand. What I'm saying is there are issues like that. I've seen a perfect, I've seen, not perfect now, I've seen an example like that. What these people now did when the man eventually died, his friends, they didn't go and fight. Like I was just saying to myself, I'm not going to fight for land with anybody. In fact, when my dad passed, he had a land, somebody was trying, my mom called me, I said to my mom, I'm not going to fight for land, better let them take it. None of us are coming to stay there, you understand? So these guys, they didn't fight the woman or collect. What they did, they gathered money together and they put it in a trust fund for their friends' children, So what they did, they made the wife a signatory, but also one of his family the guy's family member, so nobody can withdraw anything without anybody. So until those children get to 18, that they put that money there so that they can be able to go to school, uni, and all of that. And when they did that, the woman didn't like that because she felt it was her children and that money, you understand? So that's where I'm coming from. I'm not saying go and collect the land. Yes, like Pastor said, it's none of our business to go and, but you can do that where if you have a friend in that kind of situation and you really have genuine concern for his children, especially, and like these people, what they did, they gathered money, they put it together in a trust fund, and for 18, till they get to 18, those kids cannot touch, nobody can touch it, so that they can be able to go to school.
Yeah, but the woman should appreciate that, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But I've got
Why wouldn't she like it? Okay, tell me why.
She gave birth to the children, and she's the
doesn't
one
want
that,
anything.
because they live in the US.
Okay,
so
if she doesn't want anybody to contribute or have a trust fund for the children, then she must say so.
no, she wants
Then
to
they
be
withdraw
the
everything.
She said she wants to
be the only
one that
signatory.
can handle the money because she knows
It's
how.
just for accountability purposes. So
That's what I'm saying. So that's
it's for the children.
So they know that's why they did that. And then at the end of the day, the children will not benefit.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit confused with the story, bro.
yeah.
The question I want, before the friends came in, what was their concern? Is it concern about the land or concern about the way the woman will treat the children?
As a man, when men, I don't know, anyway, I'm not a man, but from the story I heard, the guy is a doctor in the US, but he's had his concerns about his wife and the way she spends money and things like that, savings and all of that. He discussed with one or two of his friends, like close friends, and then eventually he had cancer.
So why did he?
Mm-hmm.
He had that concern. Why didn't he have a will? Right?
He had a will now. He has a will, and the will is for his wife and children. But about the trust fund, maybe it didn't come to his mind. Nobody knows that they are gonna. I don't know how to put it. Or perhaps maybe he has something. Maybe he has some savings going on, but there's nothing huge in that account. Because according to what this person told me, he said there were about 15, 20 of them from all over the world, like school friends and everything. Everybody gathered money because the woman, during the funeral, that was what she was crying about. Or how the children, because the man is a doctor. You know how the doctors earn, the kind of life these children are going to have, how is she going to be able to afford and everything. So the friends felt, okay, the only gift, because they said the guy was a nice guy, and when they were all getting married, he used to support everyone. So they felt the only tangible thing they can do that will give them peace of mind is to secure the children, a future of the children. So they put money in a trust for huge sums of money, according to him, and they put it there, and they, and she's making trouble, calling all of them, insulting them. Why would you do that? Give me the money. I will, and they were like, the man's will is there. The man has given you things. Why do you need this? And they said to her, it's a gift. It is our money. It's not like you work. So she's not happy. She's blocked all of them. She's angry. And
But that, I think she's she's not sensible.
Mhm.
Because that money is for the children.
So-
So even if there are two signatories, it is for the
The
upkeep
children.
of the children. So it doesn't mean anything, to be candid. You know, as much, yeah. So I don't, I think, well,
Okay.
that kind of case, I think the woman is,
Let's go to our second question. Our second question is kind of similar in a way, not around the tradition, but this is how can families support, because we've spoken a lot about support, how can families support each other through sicknesses, aging parents, or financial crisis? You know, when you have aging parents, they come to live with you. When you have siblings who are sick and they have to live with you, or they don't even have to live with you, but you have to support them, or they are going through financial crisis. How can you know, all of these scenarios would definitely have impact on families. Do we believe that or not? You know, so how do we navigate through this, where, especially for us here, when you call you from home, you know, for some of us is uncles, aunties, cousins. Some of them, we don't even really know them so well, but our parents do. And now they become part of the package and burden that we must carry. You know, pay school fees. I'm just extending it now. What is our view about that?
Also be boundaries. Because as much as you want to help, you cannot help everybody. So I think that's just it. As if your wife or your husband shouldn't have any problem with you helping, or obviously you're going to be doing it together. But just like I said, there should be boundaries as well.
So Salam is saying it's good. It should come naturally for us to help, but there should be boundary. Why do you think there should be boundary? Michael wants to say something.
Okay.
We'll come to you.
I think there should be boundaries because people are gonna start biting more than they could chew. They're like, I personally think just do what you can. You can't kill yourself for anyone. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Prayer. Calling. Mm. So it shouldn't be just me, my family only. I don't want. We have to think of other people and see how we can help them. Thank you, Michael.
Another thing, I think we should be humble when we're doing it, because once you forget about humility, that's when you start exceeding your own like ability in terms of being able to help, if that makes sense. Like stay humble, remember who you are, how much you're earning, for example, or what you're actually able to do, rather than just wanting to, showing off, basically.
It's true. It's true. So don't go beyond your means because you want to show them that maybe you are blood, or and it's true to say this is, I know people that will say, your brother gave us this. That is my own brother. I'm not competing with my brother. If my brother can give 400 and I can give 50, take it. I'm not competing as long as I can chip in. And you're right, because that's how we put ourselves in trouble. I've seen people who have gone to collect credit card. Yeah, they will rather put themselves in debt to satisfy people. That is not wisdom. It's not right to do, but still show concern. All right, this one is a clear one. The next one, what role should grandparents play in raising children within a Christian home? Do we think grandparents should, could be living with you or, helping? What role should grandparents play in raising children within a Christian home? Supposedly, with this question, you can flip it around if you think they are not Christian. Mike. So
Then they say they should play a role in raising my child, then there will be a problem. So in a Christian way, yeah, I think it's there's no problem in that. You know their stand, So I don't think there should be.
So they can be part of nurturing, providing advice to.
I think
Go ahead.
when it comes to grandparents raising children, before even the Christian aspect, there should be boundaries. Because most times, how will I say it? Parents can be like, oh, I've been a parent for so long, you just started. Like, I'm just saying, for example, there's certain things like, oh, I know some people, they tend to, I'm just giving like neutral things. Some people, they tend to be like, they still want to give marks to children. Some parents don't want to, sometimes you drop child, you've seen it so much on internet. You drop your child here,
With
you mark,
grandparents.
your grandparents have
They've
given
done
mark, they
trial
say, yes,
marks.
that's what, so without being a Christian
That what happened.
home. Yeah.
Wait, that what happened to me.
They'll drop the children with grandparents, like with certain hairstyle. You come back, they've shaved the head. We don't, so like even without it being a Christian home first, like, so I think boundaries and
Okay.
things should be in place.
Based on that as well, right? What I agree that yeah, your grandparents could be Christian, but what should I use the word old school type of Christian where they don't spare the rod? You understand? If your child misbehaving, they don't spare that rod, or they don't even spare the slippers. How will you take it?
Actually, the opposite. These days, they spoil. That's what they
I
do.
was going to.
I remember when my father-in-law, the last time they came and we had to go somewhere, so we left the children with them. By the time he came home, my son was like, I want grandpa to be here every time. Why? They finished all the pack of chocolates. He was just giving, as they were asking for chocolate. I went to meet him. I said, well, I don't give them chocolate like that. In fact, most of the time I throw them away. And he was like, I didn't know. Was wait because they were asking. I said, Daddy, we don't give them like that too. So just like you said, there should be boundaries, And I thank God for the kind of father-in-law that he will listen. Is that how you people do your own thing? But in cases where you have maybe parents that don't listen, they want to do their own thing. How do you then deal with it? That's
Cut them off.
Yeah, because even like the issue of this tribal mark, there was a Christian like that by the time the woman came back, the husband's mom had given tribal. The girl, she threw the woman's load out, pursued her, and the man was upset. You shouldn't. He said no, but because that thing is not something that yeah, because it's not something that you can wipe off. And it's like in front of the woman she was so angry, that's wickedness.
Oh,
It's not this again. It's tradition. I think it's what they know. You understand? So we can't say it's wickedness like that. It's what I would say for my own grandmom, right? Well, they always look at Africa in Africa's this thing. They are your parents, so they know better than you.
I always tell my husband that if my mom was still alive, you hardly see her in our house because that's the kind of person she is. She likes to give people their space, And my mom's younger sister, she's like that. She's around now, and we're talking, and she was like, I can't wait to go back. I need to give all these children their space. She's that. In fact, when there was a time she was sick in Lagos, and her son had to bring her to the house, and we all knew that she wasn't well enough, but because we talk a lot, we were very close. She was like, let me go to my house. My daughter-in-law, that this girl has really tried for me. She needs her space. She needs to rest. So if she comes to my house, I know she knows her boundaries. She's that kind of person. She went to help my sister in Canada. If you don't say take this, she won't. And that's how we were raised. That's how my own mom is, So your parents. Meanwhile, there are some other parents. In fact, my husband knows someone. The child, when the mother was coming to the UK, he started packing things away and in fact, he brought some to our house that my mom is coming and I know her. She wants to take this. She wants to take that. He knows his mother. That when she goes back, I'll come and take it back to my house. So he wasn't even giving the wife. He already helped the wife, through the stress, because the wife would not be happy if she was taking everything in their house now. So you as a child, I think you know your parents, so you should know the boundaries.
I think also we know the Bible says that parents provoke not your children. So for a mother-in-law to go and just the daughter-in-law left the child and you just go, you're provoking. It's provocation, and but so it's provocation. It's They have to know this is not my home. I'm being invited. They've even given.
I treated my child, that's the way I would treat my child. So they don't know.
The mic.
Sorry, I'll give back to you. Sorry. My own case, I was actually I won't use the word dump. As in placed in a care. I must have been very, very little, but very, very young. You understand? But I was placed in the village in the care. Yeah. So, but before my dad came back, because he was transferred, before he came back, the next thing he saw was for me. Then my younger brother did not have, but about to, he said, "Don't even try it." You understand? So it happens like that. But there was nothing. That's his mother. There's nothing he can do to his mother. But he just told her that next time, don't you ask, like you said, ask me for permission.
Of course, no matter what. Okay, they are parents, but at least they need to still talk. Communication. Look, I'd like your child to have this. No, don't do it. Come on. Any parent that does that without telling their children, that's disrespectful. That's provocation. Of course, like I always say, well, they don't care about it, my children, but it's still, you are still provoking, and that can cause serious dispute, and look, that's the end. Don't come to my house anymore. Stay where you are. Because it's provocation. So parents have to know, no matter how they are, no matter how they see me as their son, see my children as their grandchildren, they still need to talk to me if they want to do anything to my child. They need, at least that respect must have to be there. We must respect each other.
With the parents I have, I already know that they will play a role as Christians. I already know that they would even do more than I would as a parent in terms of making sure my child grows up in a Christian way. I already know my mum will get them Bibles, at least when they're a year old. Different children Bibles, she would even get them each year, one for as they're growing up. So my expectation is that they play a role every day. I would even drop my children off to theirs. I won't even tell them. I'll just drop them off. No, I will. No, yeah. My children will be their children. So,
you won't tell them. You come and.
I will drop them. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. I will. That's my expectation.
Okay. Thank you for that, Esther. All right. So I think I'll skip this next question. I think we've spoken about it. How do we prevent family interference from creating division in marriage? Do we still need to talk about that? I think we've spoken a lot about how we can, with in-laws. How do we prevent family interference from creating division in marriage? I think we've said a lot. Boundaries, all right. So let's go to this one. This one is important. How can you honor your parents while still building independence as a married couple? How can you honor them? Like everything that we've spoken of, like I said, you want to honor them, but at the same time, you want to let them know that we are now married in doing certain things. Is it not still about boundaries?
It depends on your parent, because some parents, they understand that their child is married. They need that space. So it depends on the family to me.
Yeah. Honestly, there are some like that. We had the case, that guy in Sheffield.
Mm-hmm.
The mother-in-law came to stay with them.
Listen.
and this couple had a small issue, and he went to work. Before he came back, the mother-in-law said, I hear that here the woman has rights. Pack all these things and put them outside. Yes. So she helped her daughter to pack the husband's things. They are Christians. This woman is even maybe CAC or something. They are Christians. The guy had to live in his car for some time before it was resolved. And when it was resolved, he and his wife packed the mother back to Nigeria. And since then, she has not seen UK again. So that is what I'm saying. So you as a child to that stubborn parent need to deal with it. In fact, before even involving your spouse, you know your parents. We all know our parents. So like I said, if my mother was still alive, I don't even have to say much because I know her. You won't even see her as much because she wants her space as well. She wants her independence. She doesn't want to interfere in anybody. But if I have a mother that is nosy, in fact, maybe if I know that speaking to her will not resolve anything, then we'll have to be visiting her. She won't come to our house. That's just it.
Can I ask you a question? What did the guy do though? What did he do?
He didn't beat. It's just normal issues now. I think the mother, because the guy is actually very rich, and the mother was trying to say, you can control all these things. These are the things that are happening here, Once you send him out, you can control, and, So it wasn't like a violence kind of thing, yeah.
No.
For some people, it's not. Some people, their parents are late. They have elder siblings as well that they respect, or they try to that fits the role of their parents. That is, so they try to do that. And like this story that Lami said, there are some people as well who are elder siblings who feel maybe the woman is disturbing their brother or is doing something to them. They go there and pack the things and they throw it out as well. So it's not just couple. There are people, it's not just parents. Some people do it, even siblings. I look at my brother's marriage and I feel, oh, his wife is mistreating him, or the wife is doing, I go there and I pack her things and I throw it out. That's what I'm saying. I don't have to, yes, by right, I shouldn't interfere, but believers do it. Is my brother or is my sister, is my brother's house. He shouldn't take that nonsense. Or some of them feel their brother is too quiet. So they go and enforce something. This woman needs to leave, and they go and pack the load and they throw it out. So.
I think that if you've never stood up to your parents before, this is going to be hard for you to do. Like I'm saying, like most Africans, like, we're not brought up to question our parents. We just sit down, you're sitting down, shut up, you're shutting up. Even if you don't agree, you're doing it. So when you not get married, they still come and still tell you A+. That's why most times you see things like the parents who come and say something to me, and just leave her, she's just saying, when she goes, you're wondering, like, okay, for how long? So I think if you've never had that opportunity, building independence as a married couple is going to be hard, because them too, they're not. And the thing is that they say hot people. Maybe them too, when they were younger, their own parents did the same thing. They just still carry the same tradition of, oh, he's my son, and this is how he likes to eat. This is how you should serve him. Or you're standing, you're serving him like this. You are like things that in your is not like you are just.
You're right, because if you look at it, I mean, having our own children, and some of the questions, I tell my wife sometimes, some of these questions that these children, I dare not ask. But again, they want to know the reason why. And which is not bad, because I found it really hard when they started talking, and even till now, sometimes, hi, hello guys, and I'm thinking, who are your guys? Hi guys, are you okay? You all right?
I think it's sometimes it's culture. I think this should I use this generation, Gen Z or Gen Y, whatever generation they are, these new generations, I think they are bold. They are very, very bold. Unlike us, we are trained to be timid. I remember, especially those in Africa, in Nigeria, right? We are trained to be very, very timid, as in be scared of everything. But even in Nigeria now, the new ones, they are also very, very bold.
Yeah.
You understand? So I remember the day I made a mistake as well. I said, I told my dad, "Hi guys." He was like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Oh, sorry. Hi, daddy." You keep you understand? So it happens.
Example that I gave of the guy that packed some things to people's home. I'm just thinking right now, for how long will he be doing that? Why don't you just stand in front of your mother and say, I don't like these things. Stop packing.
But
you know,
you can't.
So that's what she's just saying. That's what she's saying now.
Yeah.
So he would rather be cutting corners and be packed. For how long will he be packing things to people's home when the mother is gone?
But if he doesn't have liver, you always have to bring the mother to the house. If he's not bold, come out.
Pastor, you know how many times this guy has said, when she comes, she's not coming back again. She will come again. You know, she will come again. But that's his own way of trying to manage things. So like, I don't want to offend my wife, and this is my mom as well. I'll just, it's really, it can be difficult.
Honoring your parents, because yes, that's what the Bible tells
Yeah.
us to do, against, having a peaceful home and, giving your wife that confidence that is her home and she's, in charge. How do you
I
balance
read a
it? Because we
commentary
can't.
that said, I don't know if this is right in that person's thinking, that you honor them, but you don't have to obey them once you're married.
But I'm not going to do it.
Like
You can advise me, I take
you
it,
know.
but I'm not going to do it.
So if my mother or my husband's mother says your wife has disobeyed, you slap her. No. That's what the person is trying to say. I will honor but not obey.
Obedience is about what is right, not something that is wrong.
So if it's right, you will do
Yeah.
it now. So if it's right, you do it.
It's right, and I know this is of the Christian value. It will help me, help my wife and family. I'll do it if it will help. Only about I know there's something that will help.
So I think that's what that person is trying to
Maybe that's what they're trying to say.
I'm obeying the things that are right that you're telling me to do. I'm honoring you. I'm doing those things. But if you're telling me what is not right,
Yeah. Because
you cannot separate obedience from honor.
honor.
Oh, I don't know how you can separate it. I can honor. It's like God. We honor God. We have to obey. So as much as in the obedience is where the honor is. When there's no obedience, there's no honor. There's no honor. So obedience is what brings honor in. Honor don't bring obedience. It's like obedience gives back honor. So if you don't obey you, then I'm not honoring you. How can I honor God without obeying you? So my obedience to God is show that I'm honoring God. So I can't really get. I don't see how you can.
maybe the person's analogy is not but I just feel maybe that's what the person just trying to portray.
Okay. So we're now moving to challenges in marriage. We'll take 2 questions from there and stop today. The first one is, what should you do if your spouse begins to reveal negative traits after marriage? So what I put down here, I said, without fully understanding what negative traits mean, from the perspective of the person asking the question, the term can refer to personal flaws, weaknesses, or even a significant change in the behavior of someone you thought you knew. So the person who asked this question did not say, what is that negative trait? But they are saying that, if we break it down to you start to see change, that this is not the person, but you're starting to see some signs after you've married this person. This person is also a Christian. What should you do? So I've said the first response is, when you begin to observe anything, should be to pray. Pray for them, while also you're seeking to understand the reason behind their behavior. So pray for them. So these situations, I say, they are not straightforward. And the other partnership should reflect on whether they may be contributing to the reaction from this person. So they too should reflect, am I contributing to how this person is behaving? Is there anything in my action at all that is contributing to how this person is behaving? So before you start to judge, why is this person behaving this way? What are you doing as well? It could be in the little things, that you're doing. But in fact, your own action, I'm not saying it's an excuse, but we are all human. Could it be your own action is contributing to how they are behaving? So the floor is open. Beyond what I've said, what do you think? If you start to see or observe negative traits.
I don't really understand negative trait, but I'm thinking in my head, what if dirtiness, cleanliness could be a problem? Because even people I work with, and when you see them make a mess, you're like, you have children, how are you living? It's bad. So I don't know, like, again, you're not supposed to date. I'm just saying, you're not supposed to date. So like, you're not together. You cannot be clean enough. Like, there's an extent, if it's together, and like you are doing it together, you clean, I clean, that kind of thing, but you're in it. You're going to be cleaning after this person without children for the rest of your life. It could be a problem. Teaching someone, like, it's still, I'm saying, like, for example, you're saying pray about it, you could pray about it. Again, another negative trait could be, how does the person react when they're angry? Some people, they break stuff. Some people, they purge stuff. Some people, so I'm just saying, you are not, what are you going to do? You're going to be praying when the person is angry, or like the person loses their temper easily. Those, you are in
I
it.
think there should be communication. You need to communicate about it. If you begin to, your partner begins to reveal those negative traits, you should sit down and talk about it. That's why you're a couple. You should sit down and talk about it. You shouldn't be that difficult. Like Bramus is just talking about, say, maybe it is me contributing to that negative trait, so that she now can say, oh, look at what you did. This is what you did. This is what you did. That's what. Then you can begin to, become, you may not see it from your own point of view, but when you communicate, she can now say, look, this is what you did. That's why, okay, all right, I'm sorry about that. So there should be room for communication. You must have that room. You cannot just keep silence. If they're seeing that negative, you must say something about it. So that person can say, look, this is why I'm behaving like this. This is why this is happening like this. Or, okay, what can we do about it now? So that kind of a thing. So there must be a way to resolve it, that kind of a thing. So of course, like you're saying, maybe something so dirty, and of course you can come. Look, we need to clean this house. We need to do it together. Come, let's work. You can't just sit down there and I'm doing. No, we need to work together. But of course, we need to, So communication is in this area. Communication. Sure. Why this is happening? Is it my fault? Is it your fault? Why is it happening? Is it something that is happening at work? You need to know that kind of a thing. So we need to communicate.
Okay. What I wanted to say is, like, when a couple get married, when this person says negative traits, the truth and the reality is that there are different traits from both sides. Is not a one-sided thing. This is both of you getting to know each other. And of course, in marriage, there's that vulnerability. Do you understand? So you're seeing that person in their nakedness, so to speak. You're seeing each other in your nakedness. So there's so many things you can't hide. Someone who is not, all the traits that we've mentioned, it's on both sides. So I think it's unfair for one party to say negative traits in marriage, because it's on both sides. Let's be real. So it is, the advice Pastor has given, communicating, because when you now see these traits and you know that, you didn't have this kind of background and home, and if you're better in whichever way, in whichever circumstance that you're better, you learn, you try and help the other party to, get into it. And it's not about changing the person, because I've also heard a lot of times that you cannot change someone. A lot of times we found that some people get into marriage thinking that, don't worry, I can change this person. And then you find out that it's very, very difficult, and then you're getting frustrated, and then a lot of other problems come in. But it's that communication that, okay, I have certain traits that this person doesn't like, and I've seen a lot of traits. So it's communicating and working together that brings harmony in the house.
And like you said, also prayer.
Yeah.
Apart from communication, prayer, we must never, because God is interested in every little details about us. He wants us. He won't do anything if you don't say anything. He will just leave you. But when you go to God with these things that are happening as you're communicating, you hold hands together to pray about it. I believe there'll be change and all those things.
Also, go on, mommy.
And sometimes, when you're tired or you've come from work and you're stressed, you can behave in a way that is not like normal. So just give the person a chance to have some rest, and then you see the difference.
It's true. And Colossians 3:13 advises us to, bear each other's burden, to forbear one another, just as Christ forgave us. So I think it comes with forgiveness as well, which is important in relationship. 1 Peter 4:8 talks about love, ignoring faults. Love does not condone sin, but there's a way love will overlook certain things. I've heard of couple where one as adult bedwet, just like Sister Gladys says that when you come into marriage, you will see that person in their everything, So how do you explain that when one person is bedwetting? Are you going to say, no, this marriage is over?
But before they get married, they will have known that I bedwet. Yeah, but
Oh, started in marriage.
That started in marriage. Oh, not there before. Yeah, if it's there before.
They didn't date, so the person will not know that.
No, but at least they not. We're going to say date. We're not talking about dating 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We're talking about at least within. You don't just get married today. You marry today. No, at least it takes 3 months. At least there'll be some talking going on. You're calling yourself. You're talking about things. This is me. I do this. I bedwet. What kind of a thing? Oh, you bedwet. Then let us hold on for a while.
But nobody will agree to that kind of thing. If I tell someone I bedwet, you still want to marry me.
But the thing is, that's one thing about love. Love overlooks many things. I say we believe God to bring deliverance. Yeah, you can do that. Yes, it's a spiritual thing. We can believe God. So why not? Why not? There are a lot of things that causes it. Their brain, yeah.
So I've heard about it has to do with the brain, not really registering when to go. Yeah. What about those who sleepwalk as well as adults? So that's
marriage is tough.
Yeah, so there's a.
But you love the person, so what?
Sleepwalking is a different thing than bedwetting. No, I'm saying no. I'm saying that as a single lady, if you live alone, you're sleepwalking. Nobody can tell you that. But bedwetting, you will wake up in the morning, you know the bed is wet by yourself. So now I'm saying like sleepwalking is a different thing.
Sleepwalking,
it's more dangerous.
It's even more dangerous. Because people sleepwalk and turn the gas on. People.
He was sleepwalking, woke up in the middle of the night and stabbed his twin sister. The twin sister died, and he didn't know anything. He did not know. When they were doing the case, all his friends went to school together. It was because they all came to testify that they know that he sleepwalked, that he was able to walk out of that. I don't know.
Well, we can pray.
Communication.
Yeah.
There's the aspect of forbearing.
The example that you take today, the dirtiness. I know there's forbearing, but okay. I saw this video. I saw this video of this girl. They are not even couples. This one are just roommates. I think I'm sure you would have seen it. This girl traveled, came back a few days after, and she was doing the video and crying. She showed the kitchen. I don't know what they call it in English. You know what Tanwijin is? There were pots. These are girls, Hot every. This girl was crying and saying, "Look at what my roommate left for me. The whole kitchen, it was a mess." So that kind of person now gets married. And then you are forbearing. It takes the grace. So how would you?
It takes the grace of God. If you love her with her dirtiness, you try.
That love, that dirtiness to take away that you're coming back, you're stressed, just like Mama said, you're stressed from work, and then you're meeting. It's not just the woman alone, even the men. I remember when I was in uni, I went to visit some of our friends, guys. We are in fellowship together, so sometimes we do fellowship and everything in their room. So we went there, and one of them, his towel that he's used for days was still so. You know how damp. And was in my mind, I was like, this one, I've struck this one. This one cannot even come to me and say, let us date or anything. Do you understand? If you can leave, he was thinking, and you could see all his dirty clothes somewhere. So love.
You can never love that one.
This one cannot. I don't mark that one in the face. And you see him in school, fine boy.
But we have.
And it's what?
Have washing
It's
machine.
a fine boy.
Well,
Fine boy.
Fine
boy.
What do you think of that?
The thing is that what I'm saying with this is that everybody will have their own.
See, I have a story.
Yourself.
You carry it. No matter how heavy it is.
There's this story that I heard about this guy, he met this very pretty girl, wanted to marry her, but she's a Christian. So because he wanted to marry her, he started going to their church. And the girl said they cannot do anything and all of that. He abided by everything she said. Eventually they got married. Because he was so eager on the night of after their marriage, that was when the girl now confessed. In fact, she opened up, and apparently she has 2 genitals. Yeah. So the pastor was aware of it and all of that.
Before they got married, the pastor.
They never told this guy.
Well, come on. Why? What kind of pastor is that? What kind of pastor is that?
Someone that has waited, I don't know how long they, waited. So he was so eager. He said the lady who went to the bathroom, Sha was there for a long time, like, come out now. So
how can that guy look at Christians? This is someone that is not a Christian, but
what's deception? How? He wasn't a Christian, but that story, that part, I did. The person didn't.
If it truly changed, who knows? Maybe
let's assume it truly changed.
So what happened? Did they divorce or what happened?
He left. So
he left.
It was my brother. It was. No, but why did the pastor and the girl deceive him in the first place?
There was our church in Lagos. One sister, she married a guy that was impotent. But it looked, the sister, this sister was a secretary to the pastor. Okay. And I think she didn't know about the boy's impotency, but it looked like the pastor knew. So they married, and the pastor was one of those that instigated the marriage. They married, and nothing is happening. You're not touching me. What's going on? Nothing is happening. I'm thinking, why can't the pastor
tell her?
And the girl suffered for a long time like this. Well, of course, at the end of the day, the marriage was no more, of course, which is true. But of course, let this girl know
what she's going into.
Well, because that kind of marriage was by deception. So there was no, the truth was not told. So that kind of marriage is completely disannulled. It's not a marriage in the first place. Yeah.
The story that I shared. What if the guy was
a Christian, a brother, because yes, he wasn't a Christian, but he was. No, he's not a believer. Yes, he's not a believer. Yes. So what if he was a believer?
But the thing
You
is
know,
that
it's still wrong. You know,
yeah,
that's
that's what I'm saying, that he has to know. It has to be there. These are serious issues in marriages, you know, kind of a thing. So, oh, look, oh, I'm Aphrodite. Oh, I'm an impotent person. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I bed wet. You know, oh, I'm one night I'm too dirty, but I need someone that can help me to be clean. You know, you bring all those to the table. So they look at everything. So the girl or the man can say, well, okay, there's something we can do about this. You know, I've seen cases where a man knows that the wife is this, and the woman knows, say, there's nothing God cannot do. So let's trust God. Then they went into marriage, and God did something. So it's about trusting God to do something, but you need to do it in truth. There must be truth. If there's no truth, faith can't work. You know, so that's the thing. No deception in this thing. So open it so the person can know. I'm married to someone that is bedwetting. You know, that kind of a thing. You know, I've been close to someone that bedwets, even a lady, beautiful sister. You know, I don't know, maybe I don't know, but I know she told me about it. You know,
Was she married? Was she married at the time?
No, she was not married.
Oh, but okay.
Yeah, but if any man come that time, I'll let them know that this is
the issue.
Well, if you don't say it, at the end of it, if you marry, the marriage will pack up too. So you know, because I remember she was trying to learn how to drive also. She knew how to drive from Nigeria, but she wanted to get a license. And I introduced her to an instructor, you know, and she was inside the man's car and wetting the thing, and then she called me from there because she couldn't know how to talk to the man. She was in that, she called me, and I said, okay, don't worry, give the phone to the man. I called the man and said, look, this is the problem. So I didn't tell you because it escaped me, but this is the problem. At the moment now, the man said, don't worry. You know, don't worry. I know this is life situation. You're not kind of a thing. You know, it's hard. It's very hard. And I feel so, you know, it's painful. It's not easy. Though people like that should have sympathy. And it's not that easy because their life is ruined in many cases if people don't come and support them. So if I can say because that sister is bedwetting, she won't get married.
No.
That is not right. You know, if I knew and I want to marry her, why not? I said, let's trust God for God to do something. You see?
Yeah.
So, that's true. So, are you going to say, well, I'll throw it out? No, so that's the thing. So, we need to have some kind of bit of sympathy, mercy for such things. That kind of
bearing.
And not, yes, that's it. But not don't throw away.
In the area of, yeah, like what Pastor had said before this, when he was talking about the fact that, you know, you talk about things and you air it out. When Nki was talking about being dirty or whatever, if it's not like life-threatening or as bad as, you know, wetting the bed, if the person is dirty, I know there's some dirty that is, you know, like I did work for a couple here in the UK where this dirty thing was a major, it was true to the extreme, to the extent that this woman would soak her undies 2-3 months, you know, her undies. She will soak it. She has this bowl that she uses. So when this thing starts smelling, the man wants to wash. When the man will carry, it will be like slippery. So he can't wash. So what he will do is he will go and put it in the bin. So
washing machine?
They have washing machine. You know, a lot of things, the woman, if you open their fridge, you'll be somebody. I remember somebody was going somewhere. They wanted to come and drop something with me. The person was pregnant. And the person likes food. Anywhere they see food, I'll be out. I said to her, you can't eat in this kind of way. She didn't believe me. When she came, she opened the fridge. She said, there was cockroach and things. But the thing is, strangely enough, with the way she was dirty, the man was willing to help. The man will clean. He will tidy up. His own boxers she wears, after she soaks her own, she'll go and wear his own. If she can, sometimes she can just drive. This is a person that coming out. Yes, she'll wear his boxers or she'll buy disposables. This woman can just come out of the car without shoes, nothing. Her back garden, neighbors have called the police because her back garden, she'll just buy, you know, Nigerian food, soup. she will just, no, she doesn't. She'll buy food now, finish eating. She'll just carry the thing. She will not, instead of pouring the bin, she'll just put water, pour it in her garden. So the whole food, everything. So neighbors and things, she's that bad. But, in all of this, strangely, in all of this, they have 2 kids. Even the children are suffering. She can just come now, because she doesn't cook, and the man buys his own food. So she can just go to Marks and Spencer's, for example, if you see the children, the daughter is 7, but she looks like a 4-year-old. She's like, you think she has sickle cell and all of that, but she doesn't. But because malnourished and all of that, she can just go to Marks and Spencer's because she likes expensive taste. She'll buy expensive things, chuck them all in the freezer. So in the morning, when I come with the daughter, she'll just bring her frozen tomato, a bottle of it. I try to invite Pastor to talk to her, but Pastor came, looked at the woman, because again, where I was coming to is, if you're not teachable, nobody can help you. I think I told Pastor about her. Pastor came once to try, and after looking at it, this woman is not okay. Just don't worry, because she was not willing. She was, she's always right in her own eyes, whatever. So the man was there.
But the man, the man being the husband,
yeah.
How is he? The man is coping.
The man is, that's what I'm saying. The man he's coping, but then, the man will be in the home. He will clean and he will try as much as, do things, but he's still not.
If they have money, they just
you're not teach. That's what I'm saying. Love can cover a lot. You can, if somebody is dirty, you can teach person to clean.
Just get clean.
But the thing is when you're not teachable, you can't be corrected. That kind of a thing. Even to the extent that because of the way the man was even trying to help her, she was not happy because he's a doctor, he's a GP here in this country. So what she was now doing was, she would tell the daughter, I'll give you the phone. You like what this other lady did. I'll tell you, call the police. I'll tell when you call the police, you threaten the man. I'll tell the police you're trying to molest our daughter. So yes, she was trying to do that. So the man ran to Canada, left them here, but not too long I saw him. He said, guess what? I was just home one day. She came, she has packed the children. She's come to Canada, So that's the thing. There are people that will have, you may have weakness or you may have a fault, but my bottom line is, if they are trying to teach you, or somebody is trying to, if you love that person, you will listen and you will change. Seeing that this thing is affecting your home, affecting the unity of your home, you will change. You want to be better. But where the problem is when they are correcting or they're trying to teach you, you want to enforce, this is how I am, because that's how she used to do. And this woman, if I tell you, when I first of all came to the home, if you see this woman speaking in tongues here, you'll be thinking she'll be shouting all over the place. She'll open all the doors. She'll be speaking in tongues. I was like, wow, I've come to a good home. But when I started seeing the things she was doing, and I used to say to her, I said, but she said to me, no, leave me. She always, come on.
God help us in Jesus' name. It comes down to what we're saying this morning about humility. And we can see how that, because if you don't have a teachable spirit and people are saying it won't work, thank God for that man who still has the grace, to bear all these things. I'll tell you the answer later. Let's pray in Jesus' name. Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We bless your holy name. Thank you for everything that we've learned. We ask for grace to continue to apply your word in our homes, in our relationships, in the name of Jesus. Father, remember those that may be going through one challenges or the other in their home. We pray, oh God, for grace, for strength. We pray for the right counsel to navigate these difficult times for them, oh God. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
I will worship you. I will praise your name. And